All right, hello. Today is Super Bowl Sunday. Luke mentioned in our first maple sap video, or maple syruping video, something about making coffee with sap. Now, there's not really much of anything running right now, but there's just like a little bit in one of the buckets. So I'm going to go collect that. It's probably about enough to make a cup of coffee and explain that. And that it is delicious. So if you see me walking weirdly, we've had so much snow and it's so packed down and then been rained on and walked on, and it's like super slick right now. Alright, so this is literally all that's in here, and I just brought out a bowl to put it in. It's mainly this chunk of ice. We're going to take that inside, heat that up on the stove, and hopefully make some delicious coffee. So that's the plan at the moment. I think that'll make 1 cup. I might share with Luke if he behaves himself today. All right, I'll show you the end process, but I've got my bowl of frozen maple sap in a pot. I'm just going to heat this up on the stove, and I've got a pour over coffee craft, and I'm going to make some amazing earthy, sweet, it's very strong, delicious coffee in just a few minutes. Okay, so I've got my pour over craft with the coffee in it. And I've got my pot of heated sap, and I'm going to pour that over. Set you down here. The full experience here. Let's see if I can make a mess. Usually I can. I just brought this to boiling and then turned it off and let it cool just a little bit. So ideally for coffee, you don't necessarily want boiling water. Quinn, can you let him out, honey? Thank you. One second, honey. Alright, so I've got that, and I've got my, in case of emergency, please send chocolate mug. I've had this mug possibly my whole life. I feel like I have an aunt that gave that to me when I was pretty young. And just a thought as my coffee goes through here. Sometimes when we think about like our gardening or doing maple syrup or some of the different things we do, we kind of want, you know, it to be simple. I put this much money in and I get this much money out in, you know, syrup, or I save myself this much money. Something to think about too is what it also gives you in terms of perspective and just time outside. I don't know about you guys, but the middle of February, I don't tend to go outside and do a lap of my property, my whole 1 acre, almost every day in February. But if I need to have trees to check, I do. And sometimes I just notice things like, oh, the sun feels really warm today, or how it's shining through the branches or anything like that. So just those moments that you get in the process, I feel like need to not be lost, because I think sometimes we just look at the beginning result, the end result, and we forget some of the stuff in the middle is possibly as valuable or more valuable than the end result. Speaking of end result, so that filtered through. I didn't get much. Like I said, I didn't have a lot. I'm typically a black coffee person, so this was kind of a treat. It's sweet. Like, I like sweet coffees too. They're kind of my treat, but on a day-to-day basis, my coffee of choice is just a nice dark roast black coffee. So this is kind of earthy and sweet, and it's pretty strong, again, because I use a dark roast coffee on my pour over. So thank you for joining me in making my sap coffee, hot sap coffee. Typically, obviously, when we're just boiling sap, what I'll do is I'll just go out to the pan of the boiling sap, scoop some out, make some coffee while we're boiling. Thanks for joining me today.